All just really proud of our team. Getting second Big Ten win in a row, starting season 2-0 is huge for our program. We made it a little harder on ourselves than we needed to, but hats off to Rutgers for competing and playing hard like I expected them to. And I'm just really proud of our football team. It's hard to win on the road, and especially after last week's massive win. When you have a historic win like that, it's our one word was focus. And I tried so hard the whole week to get our guys locked in, but I do realize it's very challenging to do that. But I thought we handled it pretty well. Still was a little sloppy at times, too many penalties. We got to get cleaned up, got to look at all those and figure that out. But just proud of our offense for being so productive in the red zone. We're 6 for 6 today, red zone touchdowns, and that's awesome. So that's how you win football games, and just being very efficient down there, and defense great takeaways. Got 3 of them again today. Protected the football. I thought that was huge. They created 7 takeaways last week against Michigan State, and we had 0 today on our offense, turning it over. So really, really pleased with that. That was a big emphasis for us. And when you're +3 in the turnover ratio, and you're that kind of efficiency in the red zone, you're going to win a lot of football games in this conference. So just really proud of our players, proud of our coaches for keeping our guys locked in. And wasn't, we still haven't played our best football yet, but we got our second win, which is critical. So proud of our guys. Questions?
First one will go to John Blau and then Zach Osterman.
Michael obviously started off a little slow again today, but then obviously caught fire there in the second half. Is he kind of, you feel, inching closer to that consistency that you want to see from him and the level of play you expect from him?
Yeah, he is. There were some drops in the first half too that I thought weren't on him. I thought overall he really threw the ball pretty well. Really took fire in the second half, as you mentioned. So, but I'm telling you, it takes time. I don't care what you say. I mean, we had 0 7-on-7s over the summer. We weren't allowed to per protocol, with COVID issues with our team, and it just hurts you. It just does. You can say what you want, but that's a big deal now. And I knew it was going to take some time. And so I think that what you saw at the end of last week and what you saw the majority of today, we'll just keep getting better. Our offensive line protected him better too, which is good. And we're able to run the football effectively when we needed to. So, proud of Michael. He's an extremely talented young man that will continue to get better.
Zach and then Bob Kravitz.
Sorry, Tom, took a second to get unmuted. I think that the turnovers in particular and some of the sacks as well, and some of the big plays kind of down the stretch from that secondary, it's sort of a simplistic way of asking it, but I know that you've, a lot of the guys at the back end there are guys that you've recruited, guys that have played a lot for you over the last 2 or 3 seasons. I guess just what's your trust level with your secondary at this point, and maybe even looking at them and saying, with or without they can make our pass rush with their coverage. They can make our pass rush bringing guys off the corner. They can kind of do a little bit of everything for our defense.
Yeah, just really proud of them. I thought Coach Wallman did a great job mixing things up with our secondary and our coverages and trying to create pressures that way. And the 3 takeaways are huge. I mean, it's just massive when you could, do that. All 3 picks today, and they all came off pressures. And it's a talented secondary. It really is. It's a lot of different guys. Different ones step up different times at the safety position, the corner position, and just really proud of them. And we just got to keep getting better. We didn't. We still got work to do for sure. But you can create those kinds of negative plays and takeaways. It kind of got our offense jump started. I think it kind of did. It did for sure, and that's huge. And on the road, without question. So I'm just really proud of our guys for being able to be a defense that creates game-changing plays. We're not a bend don't break philosophy. I don't believe in that. I know sometimes we have to schematically do that against certain opponents per skill set matchups, but overall we want to be aggressive. We want to create pressure on the quarterback, and whether it's attack or protection, for bringing extra guys. So I think our DBs are talented enough to be able to play a little bit of a little bit of man, a little bit of zone, variations, all those, maybe a combination of both. So yeah, special group back there that Coach Shelby does a great job with the corners and Jason Jones with the safeties, and then Coach Teagard, Coach Zaleski. So we got 3 coaches that work with that back end group, which is really proud of all those guys.
Bob and then Peegs.
Yeah, Tom, two quick things. One, what are some of the things that you were looking for this week in order to sort of ascertain whether you guys are handling success the right way or not? And following that up, have you ever seen anything like that last play for Rutgers?
Actually, not in person. The year after I left Ole Miss, they had a play against Arkansas that was similar. Not quite as many throws or laterals, but never seen it in person. It's not a very good feeling when it's happening to you because you can kind of, look, you think the game's over, you think the guy's down, you think you got him, and all of a sudden now you don't. And I mean, one guy he literally just heaved it over the back of his head just to whoever, So I mean, just when the official told me, he said, "Coach, we think one of the laterals was for him." I said, "Thank you, Jesus." And I'm just like, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "Because Coach," he said, "if that's the case, it's a penalty from the spot of the foul, and it's a loss of down, which means you guys have the ball and the game is going to be over." So I was just, please let that be the case. So, but no, it was crazy. I mean, how about 2 weeks in a row about as crazy a finish as you can see? But I guess we're just trying to create all those memories for you guys and for our fans and for everybody that watches this. So we're pretty entertaining, it seems like.
Thanks.
Peegs and then Jim.
Hey, Coach,
Hey, bud.
they cut it to 23-15, and then you just raced down, throwing it on first down. That try seemed to kind of be the dagger.
It was. I thought it was an amazing response by our offensive staff and our offensive players. And to me, that's what good football teams do. It's going to be a battle. I mean, if you think, you saw what happened today, and a team that the Rutgers just beat last week just turned around and upset Michigan. So it's going to be this way all year. So yeah, to be able to respond like that was impressive. And we just kind of saw some things we thought we could take advantage of. And hats off to Nick Sheridan for leading that crew and doing a great job calling it, and Michael Penix executing it, and the receivers catching footballs and tight ends catching balls and mixing in a couple runs in there. But yeah, we just marched right down the field and really kind of put the game away. In some ways, it obviously wasn't over, and you can't think that way, but we made it pretty hard on them. So yeah, I thought that was a great response by our offense at the right time.
All right, Jim.
Coach, congratulations on another win. As you go forward now, you're 2-0 for the first time since 1991, and you talked about the challenges of keeping your team level-headed. Next week, you're going to go against a Michigan team that you're probably going to be the favorite on. How can you take and turn that into a positive for them to grow that chip on their shoulder, but keep it within the confines of where you need it to be to get the performance that you need?
Well, that's a great point. I'm not sure how long it's been since Indiana's been favored over Michigan. If that turns out to be the case, but those are things that our guys have to learn to deal with. We got to learn to handle that kind of situation because really those things don't mean anything. I get that, but we got to make sure our players understand that. So it's going to take a lot of leadership from our coaching staff, leadership from our leaders on the team. We'll bring the guys together, and we're going to talk about the leaders of our team, and we're going to talk about things like this. And I just feel like that, this is, in my mind, we expected to be able to start doing things like this. And so we've kind of been planting those seeds. We've been talking about it, not surprised by what's going on here. But you still have to, in the moment when it does happen, you have to live it out, how you going to respond. And so it's going to be critical. If we can continue to get better, if we can block out all the noise, and right now it's going to be positive noise, and we can just stay locked in, and we can live out our mission of being able to not blink. And that blinking is oftentimes now with positive things that keep coming at us. And so that allows us to be able to say, we don't care what happens. We're going to lock in, and we're going to stay focused on the task at hand. And we're going to get better because there's a whole bunch of things we got to get better at. And so that helps. The film doesn't lie. And so, but I want us to see, I want to see us be a mature football team and learn how to handle success because it's what we've been planning for, it's what we've been believing for, and now we're in the position where we have to respond that way. So, great question, and I'm excited to be able to handle this new challenge of putting our guys in position to keep playing well when you got off to a hot start.
right. Thank you, Coach Allen.
Hey, you're welcome, guys. I sure appreciate you. Have an awesome night. LEO.